me, Rage Fox. I heard. You guys ever heard of the old wives' tale of pickled watermelon rinds? You guys familiar with this and what it does?
No. Nope. That sounds like white people stuff.
It definitely sounds like white people stuff because my grandfather, who originally was from Tennessee and lived in South Carolina, talked about pickled watermelon rinds, but we never had them. And he also salted his watermelon, so it sounds like something that was like in his wheelhouse.
Sounds very southern.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And I learned this yesterday.
Nope. Don't know.
I learned this yesterday. It was, I guess, however long they've been doing it, old white folk. It was Viagra before Viagra was Viagra. Really got your man on fire. Got him hot and heavy. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, then start pickling some watermelon rinds, I guess. Get on after it.
Right.
That seems. Who fucking stumbles upon these things? You know, who's like ground up rhino fucking penis? Really get you jacked up? You know, I don't know. I don't believe
it comes down to some fucking crazy old man got all whacked out of his brain on some fucking just clear ass fucking Mountain Dew moonshine, pickled a watermelon one time, got drunk as piss and banged the shit out of his wife. I'm telling you right now, couldn't have been the shine. I shot her up every night. Eat that pickled watermelon.
Pickled watermelon.
So not pickled watermelon. Pickled watermelon.
Yeah, pickled watermelon rind.
Now again, how did they stumble across that? I don't know. I mean, how did anyone stumble across anything? The first oyster. I mean, it's got thousands of years of starvation, and then followed by thousands of years of not having sex, and then followed by thousands of years of only having moderate sex, and then another 1,000 years of like just nothing but boners and pickled watermelon rinds. That's my take on history. That's my timeline.
Well, there's a lot of steps involved. Is all I'm saying. It's like you've got to get a watermelon. That I'm guessing a long time ago grew your own watermelon. Grew your watermelon. Eventually, you probably work through some watermelons here. Maybe it's a couple seasons of watermelons until you're like, you know what I should start doing with these rinds? Pickling them. Like you get somebody just got into pickling, and then they were like, I'm pickling everything. Watermelon rinds it is today, and fucking they pickle some watermelon rinds, and fucking down the line, he's like, you know what? Seems to me every time I eat these pickled watermelon rinds, I still fucking sharing like no tomorrow, like just go to town, and that's the process. That's presumably what happened. Hypothetically, that's a long series of events.
And we got a long way to go to the pickling phase too, because you think about it, you got to have all the humans who ate everything, and then old Jim Bob, he didn't wake up one day. I don't think those mushrooms were very good. But then you got old Ricky Bobby over there chowing down on some shrooms and starts tripping nuts, and eventually they're like, "Hey man, you want to try some of those?" I don't know, man. He seems like he's having a good time. And then you get all the way up to where we've tried every food. We know what kills us. We know what keeps us alive, and then we start pickling it all. And I'm sure there was some bad days in the pickling process. But yeah, eventually we got to the pickled watermelon, and nobody does it. The only reason I think they tell you it gets hardcore boners from eating pickled watermelon is because it tastes like shit, and somebody wants you to waste your dumbass time to eat something horrible to wait for something beautiful to happen just so you can get a pickled watermelon rind. The part of the watermelon is not delicious in the first place that nobody wants to eat. Make it less delicious by pickling the shit out of it just to see if you get a boner in about 3 hours later. No. 6-month process to get a wiener hard. No.
That's a really astute. I don't know if it's an observation, but I like where your head's at there. I think I agree.
Yeah, and the first bastard that discovered this just told all of his buddies, like, "Hey boys, look, yeah, I discovered it."
Burlap sacks of pickled watermelon. Even though that's definitely not how you transport pickled anything.
Yeah.
But I feel like it gives it the vibe that we're looking for.
But I don't trust the guy who's got a burlap sack full of pickled watermelon rinds to come give all of his friends boners for the night. All right, boys, we having some fun tonight.
Yeah, and then I went down. It trickled into a few other, what else does this? And of course, oysters is one I've always heard. But asparagus, which I just makes your pee stink. But I didn't.
Yeah, it makes your pee stink.
Outside of that, I don't know about aphrodisiac or anything like that.
No.
Well, the aphrodisiac with the oyster is because of the shape, the smell, and the texture. That's where that comes from. But what was the other thing that you said?
Asparagus.
Asparagus. Yeah, I don't want to go into full detail, but there was a bad day with asparagus because it doesn't just make your pee smell.
Ooh. I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Whew. So what's wrong? What happened? Am I okay? Are you okay?
Let me have a taste.
I think it's turned.
Oh, yeah. Well, after
this is a good welcome back.
Yeah, after a week off, this is what you get, folks. Middle Class Holes coming at you, 4th of July edition. Well, it's not the 4th of July; it's the 4th of July weekend coming up. Hence why I got my brand new Michael Jordan Dream Team jersey on. Fresh new threads, and happy Bobby Bonilla Day to everyone. This day every year until 2025. Mr. Bonilla, former Pirates, Mets.
2035.
Yeah, what did I say?
So
25. Yeah, I meant 35. Yeah, every day for the next till then. Yeah, former Pirates, Mets, Orioles, back to the Mets, Dodgers, and Cardinals star will collect $1.19 million annually. And hey, hats off to him. He beat the system. He did what he had to do. And he's going to be 72, I think, when it's all said and done.
It's like 72 or 73. Yeah, it's like early 70s when he finally stops getting paid his 1.2. What a great dude. Honestly, like that. If there's a Hall of Fame for baseball players, there should be a Hall of Fame for agents, because him and even Chris Davis's agent, because doesn't Davis get paid until he's like 50 years old?
No,
the Orioles?
It's not that. I think it's
for his
the
like
next
100.
10 years. So he'd be in his early 40s, not until he's 50. It's not nearly as long as Bonilla's deferred contract was. But, nonetheless, it's still impressive. And they didn't just think, okay, first of all, there needs to be a Hall of Fame that includes Curt Flood and Dave McNally, who were the originators of free agency. Okay? I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
that brought this generation and many generations before that, the buku bucks. But it all boils down to trusting someone like Bernie Madoff. That's really like you entrust a man like that. You're like, hey, this deferred money, this doesn't sound half bad. We don't have to pay all this up front. By that point, we're going to be gajillionaires, all of us. What will it matter? It's kind of fake money anyway.
And I'm sure it's been done because Bobby Bonilla Day is just it's just grown in popularity as the years go by, because it's always now every year July 1st it's a news story, front page of sports. All sports pages have it, and then news outlets are even picking it up because they're like, holy shit, I keep seeing this every year. When does this end? Never. It will never end. And think about the taxes this guy's saving, because if you got all that money in a lump sum, you're getting more taxes taken out of it. So $1.19 million, he's probably making after taxes exactly $1 million take home, because the tax rate's going to be lower on that paycheck. And it's what I've always said about winning the lottery, and if you take the annuity over the lump sum, like you could royally fuck your life up for an entire calendar year, go stone cold broke, $0 in your bank account. That's amazing.
I always thought lump sum was better, but I guess you're right. I don't know. I guess it depends on how big the actual lottery you win is, right? I guess it's because it would be a little. Well, I guess it doesn't. But ideally, like if you won a fucking one of those mega Powerball jackpot ultra fucking mega dollars or whatever they call them, that's like 18 states, then yeah, you're definitely a millionaire every year, right? Like multimillionaire probably.
Yeah.
In some instances. Whereas like if you win just like a regular like Maryland, the biggest Maryland lottery, you know what I mean? Probably get like a little under a mil, right?
I don't know what the pick 3, pick 4, and stuff like that does. All I know is like the Mega Millions and the Powerball, and those go anywhere from like 50 million all the way up to what they got up to $1 billion again this year. So,
well, I can tell you the pick 3 gets you like, I don't know, like $400 in a pack of smokes. Like, like I think the Maryland lottery actually worked in like a cigarette pack into the pick 3. That's basic as fuck. I know that for a fact.
that's what you win, actually, is a pack of basics.
Yes, a pack of basics. It's everything on like the bottom shelf. It's like USA Golds, fucking just the worst kind of cigarettes you could possibly think of, and $400, which is nice.
Right, untaxed probably.
Yeah, it's like you just roll on up to a gas station, and you hand it to an attendant. You're like, here you go, give me $400.
Woo!
He's like, here you go.
Let me get some scratch offs and a pint of Ben and Jerry's.
Big winner.
Hot damn, that's a lot of pickle watermelon Ron right there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's the kind of shit there you walk in to redeem it, and like a third of it's gone before you walk out of the gas station and or liquor store. You got to fill up. You got to get snacks, probably some blunt wraps, definitely an iced tea or something of that nature. I mean, that's what that's what I would assume someone would get if they did that. Yeah. I'm rambling. Sorry.
Hey, it's all good. I don't know. I think you're right on both fronts though, with like the what the payoff is versus. I've just always heard if it's any. I mean, I don't know if it's anything. I mean, the deferred money, because there's no guarantee you're going to live that long. So why not just take, especially at our age, take that lump sum, have that whatever state you live in, cut it in, 30, 40%. Take that bitch and buy yourself a house, buy your mom a house, buy your siblings a house, buy a Ferrari, buy a boat, buy some jewels, some shoes, some hats, maybe buy your girl something, one thing, and then you're good.
I bought houses and boats and Ferraris, sir.
That's right.
That's what I bought her.
Well, my only rationale for this is I can't remember what, basic cable channel came up with the whole, like, the lottery ruined my life. And they've done, like, several seasons worth of this show where people win all this lottery money and then somehow piss it all away and are worse than they were when they won the millions of dollars that they won. So I always said, not a single there's one common thread between all of these people besides pissing all their money away, becoming drug addicts, and leaving their family in financial debt. And it's that they all took the lump sum. Not once did you see a person on there was like, I'm going to take the annuity. Because I feel like if you took the annuity, like imagine the first 3 to 5 years of having like multiple millions of dollars, and you become a shitbag because you're just like, I can do whatever I want. Well, if you blow all that money, next year you get another check. I feel like over the 20 years that you collect that, you'll finally figure out some financial responsibility, and maybe you won't end up on that stupid show.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is tough because I see the merit in it, but I also feel like I could just take that and invest it or give it to someone I reasonably trust to be like, all right, invest this money for me because I don't know. I don't know economics, man. That's not my job. But I give it to a professional, a licensed professional, and say, here, make this more of it.
Right. You give me an allowance. You give me an allowance, and then take this lump and make more. And if I need some, I'll come back to it.
My allowance involves a boat, and just fucking hanging out, eating and drinking for the rest of my life.
And it involves
make more of it so that I can do that. Please, thank you.
It involves me never driving ever again. I'm never touching a fucking steering wheel. Someone else is driving my ass.
I always promised my homeboy Alex that if anything, we got super rich and I had a driver, he could be my driver. He could pick the vehicle.
How kind of you.
He could pick a couple. Hey man, he said that's what he wanted to do. He likes driving, and I was like, I got you, bro, and I'll hook him up.
You know what I bet he likes more than driving is sitting in the back getting fucked up with you.
Yeah, but he can drive. He can get fucked up sometimes. He can get fucked up all the other times when he's not driving.
It amazes me about clowns like Sidney Ponson and Michael Phelps twice. Well, once he was, I think he was 19. It was before he was like a super duper star. But he got another DUI when he went on like a good 7 to 8 hour bender playing blackjack right down the street here at the Horseshoe Casino, and then got caught hightailing it through the Harbor Tunnel, or not the Harbor Tunnel, the 95 tunnel. It just amazes me that people like that with that amount of wealth just decided to get Russian drunk. Maybe they're invincible. Maybe they feel that way. Like, cop pulls me over, they'll recognize who I am. I could talk I could talk. I'm using air quotes my way out of it. I'm Michael Phelps.
Right?
Yeah.
It's always a terrible idea. I've always wondered that. I've had that discussion many times with many people. But like, you're rich as fuck, and most of the teams, don't they have like car services and driver service? Like, that's what I always thought.
Oh, yeah.
I think NFL teams do, but yeah, look. Major League sports teams have fucking cleaners, is all I'm saying. So there's someone who can get you home safely without anyone having to know anything about anything. You chose to fucking whip the Maserati through fucking Fort McHenry Tunnel, the easy pass, because why the fuck not? Even though you don't have one, because why would you get one? You're rich. You know what I mean?
His license plate says it. Mr. Phelps.
Also, you're only Sidney Ponson. Like, we lost 100 games probably.
Right.
You know, you ain't good, bro.
Well, I think too, Wes, like you're getting to that point. Like me, the last professional athlete that's older than me is Tom Brady. Like he's my hanger on. He's it's the reason I've become like a fan of Tom Brady. So now that I'm looking back now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, how do these sports stars keep fucking up? Like, because they're 20-something. They're 20-something years old.
True.
And they have tens of millions of dollars at their disposal at any time. They think they're invincible. Michael Phelps pulled a metric ton of gold out of Beijing, China. Like, of course he thinks he can drive a fucking Honda Civic through Baltimore because he's not really that rich. Yeah. He's just Michael Phelps because he's a swimmer.
You run into like some of the younger Ravens. Like, I ran into we were at Jimmy's and Orlando Brown Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a mountain of a man. He's gigantic, but he's also like, I don't know, 23, 24, and he's every bit of it. So my man had on like Gucci sweatpants and UGG boots and shit like that, and he had his keys to his giant fucking truck outside had a legitimate foxtail. It was like fucking 1.5 feet. Like, just hanging out of his pocket. I was like, look at yourself. You are filthy rich, sir, and you look like a goddamn clown. But I kind of appreciate it.
Sexy as fuck.
Right?
Sexy as fuck.
When you reach that bit of money where you're just like, fuck it. Also, I just kind of like work out and play sports for a living.
Right.
This is my fucking downtime outfit.
There is a really good story, if you haven't heard this. And I sitting here like, for our non-DMV area listeners, Sidney Ponson was this kind of has-been run amok. He had a glimmer of hope in the early to mid-2000s. But anyway, he was from Aruba, and he was knighted. So he made it. One of the few, was he? Did they de-knight him? I don't think can that happen?
Did they de-knight him?
No, I just say. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think it can.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
The Queen can do whatever.
I don't know about Aruba. Well, is Aruba like England territory, or is it just Aruba?
I think it's still under.
No, I'm pretty sure it's owned by the royals.
They're like a king and queen of Aruba.
I think so. I don't think that the Queen of England knights. Okay, I don't think so. What I do know is that he was knighted. Okay, and around this time, he goes back to Aruba to during the off season to party and celebrate, as he should, because that's awesome. And him and his buddies were hightailing around on a beach near a beach bar on jet skis. And this guy comes out and says, "Hey, you guys are making a big ruckus. I get it. You're having fun, but there's people here having dinner beachside. Can you just dial it back a little bit, or just go down a little ways?" And Sidney Ponson said, something like, "Go fuck yourself." And this guy said, "Well, no, you go fuck yourself." And Sidney Ponson clocks him. Turns out the guy was a judge. And it also turns out that in Aruba, the jails and the judicial system aren't so cush. So he chucked him in some like dump concrete fucking shithole for about a week before he appeared before the judge again. Yeah, they wasn't real thrilled about that one. Rightfully so. You act like a dick, especially in a country like that. That's what they say. Don't fuck around in foreign countries. They'll make an example out of you.
Yeah. That has a storied history from 2005. That Aruba not the place for because that's where Natalie Holloway just kind of disappeared. Remember that whole story?
No. Who was this?
That like cute blonde chick who like I don't know why she was in Aruba. I think she went like with vacation with her friends or something and just left. They were just gone and they never found her. You don't remember this?
No.
Oh my gosh, this is like one of the most storied. I can't remember the guy. Then the guy eventually did the same thing to some chick down in like South America and finally got caught for that one. And yeah, Aruba's not the place to screw around. We like cut off like vacation relations with Aruba for like 5 years after that.
Wow. God, what was her name? I'll have to look this up.
Natalie Holloway.
Natalie Holloway. Wow.
This was like the biggest story for like 2 years. It's like the biggest missing persons case for like 2 years.
2005?
Yeah, roughly around that time. 2004 to 2000.
I was graduating from college, bro. I had bigger fish to fry.
I wasn't concerned about blonde chicks getting lost in Aruba. Nobody got time for that shit. We're throwing keggers.
I was concerned about blonde chicks getting lost in my bedroom, bro.
Nice. Oh man, yeah.
The one I do remember is that. Remember, like this is probably 02, 03. The kid that got sentenced to get caned in Singapore, and the American.
This was I was in high school, dude. This was like the mid '90s.
Okay, I remember specifically my mom, who had been to Singapore, giving me not giving me a lecture, just like, hey, lessons learned. Don't fuck around. It doesn't matter. They're going to cane that kid 70 times on the public square while a bunch of Singaporeans, kind of singing over there,
Singaporeans,
sat there and are mesmerized as some American teenage boy gets fucking shellacked over and over again.
Yeah, that was an example of a rich kid in a foreign country just getting what you get when you fuck around in a foreign land. Because I think, but the thing is too, man, looking back on it now, again with older eyes, I think he was like spray painting cars and shit. Like, fuck yeah. I kind of wish we had that system here. You're a teenager spray painting people. You go out and you spray paint my Jeep Wrangler. Yeah, I'd like to take a fucking giant stick to your ass.
That's probably on you for buying a Jeep Wrangler. That's neither here nor there.
Well, Alan, if you had caught the kids, because it happened twice, stealing your golf clubs, would you like to have taken a golf club out of the bag and caned them?
I definitely would have done some damage.
Here's a 3-wood. I don't use this too much.
There's a couple clubs in there that could. I think like wedges would do the most damage. Most solid.
Yeah. Okay. Now, now I have to. As the judge in this situation. Now you can't use the club head. Now you got to use the handle.
We're just whipping them. I'm fine.
Yeah. But I would prefer the flag post. I feel like that would be a much bigger lesson.
I've got 2 fucking alignment sticks in my bag. They will do some fucking some proper whipping, my man.
Thinking about the torque on that puppy. Yeah.
Yeah, that they're hightailing it and dropping them clubs as quick as possible.
It's like Smokey when he catches that kid not kicking over trash cans, belting them.
That shit stings, man.
Yeah. Speaking of foreign lands, foreign countries, and people who don't, well, I don't know. That's the only connection I have with this. Some of it had to do with like people just not knowing stuff. Real life Tarzan lived 41 years not knowing women existed and ate rats' heads. Hong Van Lang. Is that not related to Rob Van Dam? 49 now lives in small Vietnamese village where he's adapting to living among people. He and his family fled civilization during the Vietnamese War. The, quote, real-life Tarzan didn't know women existed for 41 years before he was discovered living in a jungle away from civilization. They show some pictures of this guy. He looks just about what you'd expect someone who's away from civilization for 41 years. The family fled when a U.S. bomb killed his father's wife, during the Vietnam War in 1972. Jesus Christ, man. I've seen situations like, I believe it was in somewhere in Brazil or maybe just outside of Brazil where not too long ago they discovered a civilization that, that had never been seen before. And I think they were throwing spears at the helicopter that, was taking pictures of them. But, single guy, 41 years, and how the hell is he adapting to life?
No, that's probably the most perplexing thing about the story. But I just want to go back for just 1 second here. So you're telling me that there was this, I don't know, humanoid creature that was like living in the wilderness, unseen by humans for how long? 41 years?
41. So in 1970, he's 49, and this happened in 1972.
And you're telling me, of all the time he's been living out there, like nobody's actually gotten a picture of him and seen him with their eyes?
This, according to the Daily Star.
So you're telling me that there is an upright walking hominid that is roaming the forests, and yet no one had discovered him until right now.
Well, I don't know about right now, but recently.
And then you're telling me that there's this whole tribe
Yeah.
of these creatures living out in the wilderness, and they were just recently discovered as a community.
I feel like you're
And
placating
you're telling me
me in a
Bigfoot
way.
ain't real. Yeah, I am. I'm telling you, Bigfoot is fucking out there, motherfucker, and this guy fucking just proved it right in front of your stupid eyeballs.
It's true. He's laid it on pretty thick.
So thick, I thought you were playing around by not getting the connection.
Right? I don't think he wasn't looking at us though.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what it says.
I spilled a little beer on this Jordan jersey. I was curious. You more concerned about that? No.
There's it right here.
This is not proof of fucking... Bigfoot is proof of Bigfoot, not fucking Ho Van Lang, who had a family, who ran out... I don't even... This story's probably fake, too. Moving on.
But I do agree. How is there any possibility of him adapting to life? So how old do they say he is?
49. They also later on say that's a guess because there's no record of birth. They're only going by his brother's age when they think he was born. I mean, that's so, it's best guess. So 48 to 51 probably.
Gotta chop him off at the femur and count the rings. That's how you do it.
So, okay, so he was like, what, maybe 8 to 10 years old when he ended up in the jungle by himself?
Yeah.
I mean, God, this is a really sad story.
Yeah.
Glad we're joking about it.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. But
Wait, but
that's some dead jungle in Asia.
how did he not know women existed? I mean, okay, well, I guess his mom was blown up by a bomb, so maybe he maybe he kind of pushed her to somewhere else in the memory banks. So he's out there. But why the rat heads? Here's my question about that. There's the rest of the rat, okay, like below the head. Why not chew on a little bit of that?
Yeah, I know.
Instead of, concentrating on the head part.
My guess is this is Ho Van Lang's equivalent to pickled watermelon rinds. That's my guess.
But he didn't. Maybe. He was by himself in the jungle, though, right?
Just liked having boners.
Yeah.
That felt good.
Your own jungle boners. That's pretty good. I was going to say that if I've learned anything from pairs and large groups of average people getting naked and going into the jungle on the Discovery Channel, It's that the heads of small animals are nutrient rich. Also, I think rats carry a lot of fucking parasites. So if you don't have like cooking knowledge, like I don't know if my man was out here making fires or if he was just out there being primal. So if he's not making fires, he might know that like eating a raw rat could get sketchy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but so he did this by himself. Think about this. As adults, we would probably struggle to go like 5 to 10 days without the internet.
Mm-hmm.
This 8-year-old went in the jungle by himself back in the 1970s. And the only reason he's quote unquote adapting to humans now is because people found him. If they didn't find him, dude, that's a survivor right there. Like that person, I don't know, man. If they can ever bring that brain back to like some semblance of reality, like that's somebody that needs to be studied in depth, like the survival instinct. Because that guy's got it.
They probably definitely are experimenting on him. Let's be real. But I think it's more of a testament to like how actually like versatile like kids are, like both mentally and physically. Like I don't know. I think we treat kids a lot of times like very gently, and we're like, oh no, oh little Timmy, don't fall. Like just fuck it, they're fine. They'll be fine. Now, yes, you gotta do a little nurturing. I'm not saying that, but you know, I think sometimes we overcorrect. And they're perfectly fine. They can live in fucking Vietnamese jungles. I'm
sorry. Shit. What were you gonna say?
No. I just said like they're fine. They can live in jungles.
I would also have to guess that this family likely didn't grow up in a single home rancher with air conditioning and cable television. My gut tells me that this Vietnamese family struggled prior to this, and he, probably pulled his weight even as a 7 and 8 year old.
That's true. But man, I've got a lot of questions about his adolescent years, and they are in Vietnam. Right. Just saying, there's a few ladies of the night. Could somebody pony up a few shekels and get this man a proper pickled watermelon?
Oh,
get her on.
I'm almost certain the first sight and scent of a woman, he grabbed and was just humping. It was just like instinct kicked in.
Maybe that's why only the rat head was left.
That's where they're studying him. He's just sitting here humping with clothes on, and the scientist is like, tell me what you're thinking and tell me what you're feeling when you're thinking it right now. I would like to know.
I'm thinking,
it almost kind of reminds me. Have you guys ever seen the movie Murder in the First with Kevin Bacon and Christian Slater?
I think I have actually.
Yeah.
Yes, but I don't know it as well as you're about to tell me you know it.
Murr's shaking his head. Murr's shaking his head. Wes is about to make a shitty movie reference. All right. No, they put him in solitary for 3 years, and he comes out fucking just crazier than batshit, and stabs a guy with a spoon and kills him, and then goes to trial for that murder. And the whole premises behind the defense is that he's crazy because you did this to him. You put him in solitary confinement for so long. But I will say, living inside of a box for 3 years versus living in the jungle by yourself, where you're, is it apples to pears? I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, because in the jungle you're at least like free to do whatever you want. I mean,
to roam and just be an animal who is undiscovered in a thick forested area.
Here we go.
The world.
So is your argument now that Bigfoot exists in Vietnam? Is that now the...
No, dude, I have always said that Bigfoot exists somewhere. It doesn't need to be like the Pacific Northwest. It doesn't need to be the state of Washington. Like, there is a Bigfoot somewhere on the planet is what I have always said.
Agreed. And I'm with Alan on that point. It's like, I don't think we have to like narrow it down to a specific geographic region. My point has always been that it's possible for a very small subsect of a species to live unimpeded in the world. The world, we think of the world because we see cities like New York. We can't hide in New York. Look at all those people walking around. Even you get out to like Arkansas, it's like, you can't hide in Arkansas. There's helicopters all around. But then you get out to remote places like this. Yeah, I think it's fully possible. Because your argument's always been, Wes, that like, well, they discover new species every year, but it's never mammals. Well, I'm just saying that if there's a slightly... I think Bigfoot's probably smarter than little nunchuck over here living out in the Vietnam, and it's used to its surroundings.
That right?
So
maybe.
I love it.
I have 2 points. So first of all, according to what I deem as a historically accurate depiction of Bigfoot, according to the John Lithgow movie Harry and the Hendersons, the habitat is New Hampshire, northern New Hampshire. Just saying. Okay. Second of all,
scientifically, the Adirondacks,
the northern New Hampshire area. Second of all,
continues.
These things have to procreate. So presumably there's more than one, unless you guys believe that there's been one roaming the earth for 60 or 70 years and everything else has died and this is the last one.
Well, we go back to I believe the imagery that you're speaking of with that tribe was the North Sentinel Island, where they just discovered them like 10 years ago. And then within the last 5 years, I think some missionary tried to go bring a Bible to him, and they just fucking butchered him as soon as he hit the beach.
Yeah.
Because the point is that if you live in a small collective, we won't even call it a community. If you live in a small collective, and if they breed like us, where they're only having one a year, then yeah, the numbers are going to be low. The population's going to be low. And you could probably travel in a pack of like 15 or 20 forever and keep procreating, just on a very small level.
Pause. Have you ever watched like Jane Goodall fucking track some lowland gorillas? She was in the jungle alone for like weeks trying to find a family of like 12. Those are fucking large animals.
And she knew where they were.
Yeah, and she had an idea. Like, nope, just kind of 1940s and along the hillsides in Africa, just looking for gorillas. Couldn't find them. Like, it is entirely possible for something to be somewhere, and we knew about them things and couldn't fucking find them.
All right, so Mr. Van Ho's existence is proof. Mr. Van Ho's existence is proof that Bigfoot exists, probably somewhere either in New Hampshire, Vietnam, Washington, Alaska, or India in the Himalayas.
That's a Yeti, so it's different territory.
Okay, semantics, Alan. Let's not split hairs here. Okay. And by the way, he doesn't live in Texas, according to the Great Republic of Texas.
I thought everything was legal to hunt. Yeah. The great human, just whatever.
It is a non-protected, non-licensed species, and therefore, if you find a Bigfoot just outside of San Antonio, then you can blast him, and you will not be ticketed.
You see him strolling on Riverwalk, you just go ahead and fucking blast him.
That's probably what's happening.
Sorry, Wes. I didn't even mean to make this a Bigfoot topic. It just as you,
he was just so unimpressed. Okay,
shooting Bigfoot. All right, last bit before we get to our first break. Virgin Galactic stock jumps 39% in the best day ever after the FAA approves passenger spaceflight license. So Virgin Galactic announced Friday that the Federal Aviation Administration granted the company a license it needs to fly passengers on future space flights, a key hurdle as the venture completes developmental testing. Quote, the commercial license that we have had in place since 2016 remains in place, but is now cleared to allow us to carry commercial passengers when we're ready to do so, says Virgin Galactic CEO Michael Cole Glazer. It's kind of a cool name. told CNBC, quote, "This is obviously an exciting milestone and a huge compliment to the team. Since that happened, the stock jumped nearly 40%, trading on Friday, the largest ever rise in a single day. Not a shocker. So what's this mean? We're going to be able to fly in space from what, rather than just 39,000 feet, we're going to be able to fly in space from one place to another? Or is this like this is to the moon, to Mars, to Jupiter, to Pluto, to where Bigfoot came from?"
No, this is low Earth orbit. This is like, I'm going to say 70,000, 80,000 feet, something like that. Like, you'll see space. You'll get some floaties on. You can dangle out a little bit, and then you'll come back. And by the way, you're gonna have to really narrow down that "we" word that you use, because it ain't gonna be us.
It's a good point. Is this similar to? I think I don't know if they've put it. I don't think you can do this now. But I thought that they were still flirting with the idea of people going down to see the Titanic, but at a cost of about $10,000, maybe even more. Is this kind of similar to that?
I mean, I guess in the opposite direction, maybe. I don't know. I want to go to space. I do, but I don't want to go to space and like empty out my bank account and my kids' college fund just to go do it. I mean, of course I want to do it, but I mean, this is just it's the greatest ride that Disneyland can't provide. To me, that's all. That's what this is. It's a good step though, because I think, unfortunately for somebody like Richard Branson, who started the whole Virgin company, he got everybody excited about this shit, and then they jumped past him, and fucking old Richard Branson's just like, "But I was going to fly you there. I was going to fly you there." And they're like, "Fuck you. We're going to take people to Mars, bitch. Thanks for getting us excited, but you're a thing of the past now." It's just it took the technology too long, so people can see what's next before this has even occurred. I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
It's the next step into fucking, getting us to like traveling to the moon daily and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just a step in like fucking space fucking takeover of the United States of Earth.
The only thing the only application I could see this to getting us further. What are you making a space for?
No, I just thought the United Space of Earth was pretty funny. That's all.
I didn't even catch it. But if they were able to get like if Elon and Bezos were able to start like floating, I don't know, like you launch one rocket with a bunch of shit on it, and then you can take this Richard Branson thing up there because it doesn't cost as much and it's reusable, and then you dock with it or something. I don't know, man. It's funny because like 20 years ago I thought this was the coolest thing that could ever happen, and now I'm just okay,
right.
Cool.
Just to
fly a plane really high.
Just to clarify, the U.S. officially views altitudes of 80,000 kilometers or 50,000 miles as the boundary of space that we had talked. So just to give you a frame of reference. So Virgin Galactic, this is Hurricane. The company has about 600 reservations for tickets on future flights sold at prices between $200 and $250,000 each. So to reiterate and echo what you said earlier, Murr, we ain't doing it. At least not now. Maybe by maybe when that Bobby Bonilla money ends out, that'll be our turn.
Oh, here's a question though: is that a person, like per person? We'll just say 200,000. 200,000 per person
each. That's a ticket price.
Yeah.
Wow. And how many people go on there? You got what? Okay, so you got the pilot and co-pilot, and then what? Maybe 6 passengers.
It doesn't say the.
It says, Virgin Galactic spacecraft Unity is designed to hold up to 6 passengers along with 2 pilots.
Okay. So I mean, you're making 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So you're making $1 million a flight. I mean, of course, there's some costs involved in all of that, jet fuel and years of technological breakthroughs.
Yeah.
But so $1 million a flight, you start flying, I don't know, 100 of these a year, that's $100 million. So yeah, this is definitely a long-term investment for that company because people are going to pay it. Obviously, 600 have already signed, 600 to 800 have already signed up. I don't know. To me, it's a good, like, rich guy vacation money grab. hey, we're gonna go do some parasailing, and oh yeah, we're gonna go up
Yeah,
outer space and shit.
Yeah, maybe Cruise will want to film up there.
What, film cruise? Like, or Tom Cruise?
Maybe
Tom
Tom.
Cruise.
That's what I'm saying. Tom Cruise will want to film a scene there, while doing it.
I think Tom Cruise, because this is the cool thing about Elon Musk, is he seems like he's up for anything. So I feel like if like Paramount drops like a dump truck's worth of money and buys the entire cast and crew of Tesla, then he'll be like, okay, sure, you can, I'll fly you up. What are you gonna do? And I'll put him on a fucking starship.
Yeah, it's the bankroll for a Paramount Pictures, Paramount Productions rather. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm thinking now. This $600 or $200 to $250,000 a ticket, that's chump change. You want to get Tom Cruise up there in Mission Impossible 44 and really make this fucker unique and authentic.
But the problem with that Virgin thing is like it's tiny. I mean, it's like those things they're not, they're like the size, that plane itself is like the size of what's the plane that all the ballers like to fly in? Jetstream.
Hold on, that Soul Plane.
G6.
Soul Plane with Eddie Griffin.
Yes, like,
and Snoop.
Yeah, it's a G6 size compartment. So yeah, like you can't even like, if you fart and your elbows flare out, like you're hitting somebody in the rib cage. So there's not a whole lot of filming going on in those things. But Elon with his Starship, or what those Dragon guys are flying up in, you could film a few things in there.
Well, then you'll have to make it look like Blair Witch Project. Single camera, shaking all around.
That show is terrible.
That movie, you mean?
No, that shit.
Oh, single camera shaking. It was really bad in Cloverfield.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Makes me nauseous.
It does.
Yeah. Well, good luck to and we'll reserve our tickets when we get big, and not Murr though, because he's going to defer his money, and it's going to
he's going to defer his loot. We're just going to be taking space flights while Murr hangs out and saves money.
We'll take some pictures for you, buddy. Don't worry.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We aren't doctors, but we'd love to take a look at some more of the middle class holes.
It only triggers that in my head.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the middle class holes. Where's Foxman, Murn Outland, gonna kick your ass. Those are the lyrics as I knew them, as I remember them.
From Jock Jams.
From the Jock Jams 1 album. Ugh.
Just Jock Jams.
Legitimate. Welcome back to the middle class holes. Foxman, Murr Allen, 4th of July special. Hey, did you guys hear about the fucking parasailer who got bit by a shark out somewhere? It was like, what's it? Jordanian guy. It's in the Red Sea. They get somewhere.
Sharks there?
They said it's extremely rare, but him and presumably his wife are getting ready to take off. They're moving in idle, and so the parachute is pulling them slightly, but they're kind of getting ready for the big drop of the to go up and up. Yeah, fucking shark nips on this dude's leg.
Oh, I didn't know it got him. I knew it jumped. I knew it breached. I didn't know it got his leg though.
Yeah, it's cut open the tendon. Didn't lose his leg, but got a tendon pretty good. Took some muscle off. And a few other things. I mean, he's in stable condition. Okay. Had several tendons severed and a muscle torn, as well as having several broken bones. So I would say that's pretty severe. Yeah,
you like never run again or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that sucks.
Some severe PT. I mean, here you are, out in fucking paradise, or at least Middle Eastern paradise, and you're like, yeah, me and the wifey, let's parasail in the Red Sea. This will be great. And this is like, they said, divers said, I've been diving for 20 years. The first time I've heard of a shark attack. I don't know if they're just downplaying it, but they said it's extremely rare.
Yeah, they are downplaying it because that diver probably works for the same company that runs the parasailing operation. They're trying not to lose fucking money. Stay out of the goddamn water. This is why we evolved from it to walk on land and breathe the oxygen in the outside atmosphere. Stay away from the water. It's there to kill you. All of it. Breathe it, you die. Fuck with it, you die. Fuck with the animal life that lives inside of it. Guess what? Dead again.
Yeah, man. 100%. We went to Deep Creek last week. Got a boat. Went out on the boat. It was like, hey, you getting in? Absolutely fucking not. What do you think? I'm insane? What is you must be outside your motherfucking mind. No, I'm not getting in the lake. I don't get in the ocean. No. Lake's probably a little safer. Maybe I might get in a lake, but probably not. It's too big a body of water. Fuck that. Nope.
Agreed.
I didn't realize my two co-hosts were giant pussies.
Give me a sweet pool, baby.
Yeah, that's the thing. Humans evolved to tame the world around them. We don't need these natural bodies to wash and rinse and bathe ourselves in paradise. No, we take water, we add all the chemicals that we created to make it crystal fucking clear, clean, and free of all the wildlife that can murder us. And then we relax in it after it's been humanized. That's how civilized people work. All you fucking lake folk. And fuck a lake, Alan. I agree with you. There's shit in that lake. I remember being a kid and I'm just stomping around inside a lake and then like seeing some friends giggling on the shore. I'm like, what are you laughing at? Like, you know, these snapping turtles are in there. You're lucky you didn't lose an ankle. Like, you're right. You're right. I'm never doing this again. Lesson learned. Fuck that. I remember I went for we had something where I had to go into the bay and I fucking cut my foot on like a dead fish skeleton. And all I could think of is like all of the parasites and bacteria that are going to leak into my foot and kill me like the crocodile hunter. Fuck all that shit.
Sand in general. Well, not even so. Sand and beaches, just fucking sand in general. Like once you get in the water and then come out, there's sand in places that sand doesn't go. And like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's miserable until you get to one of those little shower thingies on the side of your fucking bungalow or wherever you're fucking staying. Like, it doesn't even sound fun. Nothing about that sounds fun. And lakes are just gross. You know, they're all slimy on the bottom most of the time. In the shallow waters, there's fucking like seaweeds that fucking creeping up. It's just, God, no. And they're dark, just murky and dark. Nope. Lakes are no good for me. Yeah. I'm not a water guy, bro. I'm a poor to below average swimmer. I can like keep myself alive and probably like swim to a destination. But if you're like tread water for an hour, I'm all right. I'm gonna drown now. See ya.
I'm gonna sink to the bottom of this murky ass lake.
Fucking boop. Done.
Wow. Well, that's okay. Well, this poor guy is fucked up, and you guys are walking. So I guess there's something to be said about that.
Right.
You nailed it on that one. Our natural waterways were built to dump our waste. That's why they're there.
Oh, that's that far, but okay.
And that's why I'll stay out.
That's also true.
Wow. Well, coming back to the actually, this is the U.S. Sun. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Here we go. The iGrandpa, world's first elderly sex robot with wrinkles and silver hair, created by a company known as Real Doll. I was so blown away by that, I burped. An elderly male sex doll has been created by sex robot company Real Doll. Gray hair robots have been made at the request of the customer and posted in the firm's Instagram account. According to the Sex Tech's guide, the wrinkly model was built specifically for a client. Real Doll captioned this on Instagram, quote, "Okay, we get daddy issues, but this might be a whole new level." The company's flagship sex doll is artificially intelligent Harmony doll. It's also working a sex male robot called Henry. Your thoughts on the male sex robot that has gray hair and wrinkles and presumably balls that go past his knees?
Long ass balls, like.
I knew it.
It would be the Real Doll, the folks over at Real Doll. So I'll tell you why I know who Real Doll is because I don't know if you guys remember late night HBO when you had Real Sex.
Oh, I do. Yes, of course.
Real Sex, yeah, softcore stuff. Well, sometimes hardcore stuff in Real Sex actually, which is kind of crazy now that I think about it. But anyway, like. This was like Real Doll was the sex doll of the future, and they were like 10 grand, and they were just giant pieces of latex. And now they got robots. So I mean, this is definitely how we kill ourselves as humanity. Wait till we put a microchip in that motherfucker. It's just one step next to closer to our demise. We're doing it in a lot of different ways though, so I'm kind of excited to maybe figure out how this race ends.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like the realism of an old man real doll, I mean, the similarities are a lot closer to humanity. Artificial hips, fake knees, gelatinous skin that doesn't feel real. I'd like to do this, though. Who's the customer? Because I thought that they were going to be releasing a line, and you're telling me that this is a kind of like a one-off, which I'm kind of, I'm kind of grateful to hear that this is a one-off, but I'm trying to think who would want an elderly sex doll. You think it could be like, I don't know, some young hot chick who aspires to be a trophy wife, just maybe so she can acclimate herself to like old man dick and then therefore secure her place in the Anna Nicole Smith Hall of Fame.
Could be an old widow.
No.
Who's got some loot. 12 grand is what it's going to cost.
Yeah, because old widows who have a lot of loot are going to go fuck some young pool boy and be done with it. Yeah. Okay. Come on, those things weigh like 300 pounds. Like, you have to be like a specimen just to position it to the proper settings.
I mean, that's probably still true. I'm not gonna say it's not, but like, it definitely was in fucking 1998 when I found out about Real Dolls. So. Like Murr's got a point. It's probably not an elderly person because they would need like a fucking an engine jack to fucking move it around the house. So
right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is definitely a weird one. But I also think Murr to a more specific point. I think they're all fucking custom made. I don't think they mass produce like. Here's the Jeromes, and there's 6 of them in the back. You know what I mean? Like, look at the Kyles over there, and I don't think that's how it works. I think people for 10 grand, people just call up and they're like, "Hey, man, I need these very specific specs."
This is Steve. This is a defective version. Taking only the best out, but yeah, he's no longer produced.
Yeah, this is the Bashimi model. He's got some wonky eyes, but he's quite the lover.
It's just weird, every different length limbs on some. They're just like, hey, that's just a little gremlin guy we made. You can have him. He's cheap, half off, 5 grand.
Does the Jerome model cost more since they have to produce?
Well, no, actually, everything's detachable. Depending upon what you're feeling on a particular night, you can just throw on a new.
Yeah, you can get multiples too.
Right.
Yeah.
Or one for specific entryways, if you will. Might want to vary it up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we are a depraved society.
Some that have you have settings of horsepower.
Horsepower.
Operation Ramrod. Here we go.
I think I came across in college a couple XXX videos of those dildos that are hooked up to what looks to be like a machine that just kind of It's kind of similar to Murr's intergalactic ramrod.
It'd be like a train, like a literal train drivetrain.
Yeah.
That's all it is with a fucking dildo on the end of it.
Actually, that was the inspiration behind the intergalactic ramrod. That was the exact image I had in my head. But now it's probably some gay man who just wants to, retire to his quarters with Henry.
Could be.
I was gonna say, but it's probably something real sentimental. Like it's someone's lost love, but they're still gonna ride it.
Ooh, that's weird. Because do you guys know, like, I know they made the movie about him and everything, but Liberace, like his lover, and this is in the early days of plastic surgery, but Liberace kept buying plastic surgery for his man boy to look exactly like him so that he could fuck himself.
Phew. Narcissist. I guess.
Yeah.
Not I guess. Exactly.
He loved himself, kind of. I don't know if anybody caught on to that.
Yikes. Ugh. Well, good luck to a real doll.
We move closer. We move closer to our end as a species.
Yep. One Henry doll at a time.
One Henry doll, a fucking stack of Jeromes on sale.
All right, folks. Well, it's Friday, and it's one step closer to the 4th of July, and we all know what that is. Mr. Murrow, take it away.
Well, you confused me for a second, but I came back around because, my friends, that means it's officially time for your Fun Fact Friday, brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. Yes, those scallywags still exist and still continue to grow day by day. And if you have a little bit of pain below the knee and above the ankle, you can find the Shin Splints Recovery Group on Facebook.
I think they've superseded us.
To add to that, Wes?
I think they've superseded us in terms of member likes or whatever. I think that happened. I could be wrong.
And that's the show because we're officially shutting it down.
I was told not to do that. I was told not to do that.
All right. God damn it. All right. Well, let's get to it. It is officially time for 5 fun facts for you fuckers. It is your Fun Fact Friday. Did you know that rats laugh when you tickle them? A study found that rats not only enjoy being tickled, but high-frequency recordings showed that they make the same laughing sounds during tickling that they do when they play together. So a rat likes a good tickle.
Interesting.
Do you think the rats that one hung low was biting the heads off were laughing? Like, oh, that tickles.
One hung low, huh?
Too soon.
That was his name. Yeah. No, I did not know that rat. The only thing I knew about rats was well, I know a lot of things about rats, but they're whereas humans 1 in 10 humans are left-handed, rats are 5 in 5, and then there's a few other species that are the same. But humans, they can't figure out why the right to left dominant is 1 in 10. But no, I did not know they're ticklish, and I did not know they like to be tickled, and I certainly didn't know that they laughed when you tickled them.
Well, I would like us to stop studying human-like qualities in animals so that we can continue to bash their brains in because they're varmints and we need to get rid of them. And like pigs, stop telling me how intelligent my bacon is. Stop. Just let's stop doing it. We get it. Okay. If there's some medical procedures that need to be done and there needs to be research in that field, fine. But quit humanizing my food. I feel like it's all a big plot and ploy by the ultra left liberals to try to take away everything that I enjoy in life.
Yeah, Big Vegetable's gonna fucking put faces on all your meats.
Big Vegetable is going to put faces on all of your meats. That's a fucking bumper.
Big Vegetable lobbyists are coming.
That's a bumper sticker written all over it.
And I would like to remind Big Vegetable how many rats are caught up in fucking combines when they fucking till a field.
But more to your point, you know what? Honestly, fuck however intelligent pigs are, because bacon's delicious. You know what I mean? Like look, I'm a meat eater. I can get over it. I'm a lover. I want animals raised in not fucking like factories, but sometimes you got to do it to get that sweet Smithfield. You know what I mean? There's trade-offs.
My point on that's going to be when Professor Pig and Dr. Dolphin split the atom, I'll start worrying about them. Until then, get on my plate, bitch.
Until then, keep giving me your bacon and tuna. Because that's what tuna's made out of, dolphin.
Exactly. Why did they put dolphins on the side of tuna cans?
To make some fucking, probably to make it a mascot. People didn't know any better.
They were like, these idiots are just gonna think dolphins are made of tuna, or tuna's made of dolphins. It's perfectly fine.
Did you know there used to be a profession called knocker up? The person would walk around town and knock on people's windows with a stick until they woke up. There were a large number of knocker uppers in Britain and Ireland until the 1920s. After that, people had access to more affordable and reliable alarm clocks.
Why would they call it knocker? Was knocker up back then not a term for impregnating someone?
Well, that's the thing, is they may have, like, a few of the old knocker uppers might have been sneaky Peteys too. So.
Time for a morning poke.
Bit of the old milkman treatment. I see. I got you.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh, and it's got such a good ring to it. But no, it does make sense. I mean, think about the days when you had to call, like, at a hotel. I remember going on vacation. My dad'd be like, "Oh, gotta call the front desk." And like, "Yeah, I'd like a wake up call." Really? Like, those are gone. That's pretty much done ski. So there was a guy that would literally just walk around town like, "Hey, get the fuck up," and just whack on your window with a fucking broomstick.
How do you sign up for that? Do you put him on a schedule? Do you have to tell him like every day? Like, hey man, hey fucking 6 o'clock today, bud. hey man, fucking daylight savings. Let's switch that back. It's gonna be fucking it's gonna be 5.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I guess it'd be like a lot like a paper route. You know, you just walk around banging on windows.
You have like a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Got this talk. He's got the schedule. Yeah, it's like walking like dog walkers these days.
Yeah, all right. So deal. What if you gotta wake me and Wes up at 5:30?
Whoever pays more.
I mean, we're close together, but we ain't that close.
Whoever pays more.
You're not gonna get here if you might get to Wes at 5:32. What if that makes him late?
I don't know. Maybe you got two of them. Maybe one walks one side of the street, one walks the other. You know, and look. The bottom line is you're talking about a time when we're working by candlelight, for God's sake. I mean,
were they time at this point in time?
I think 5 minutes here and there. Walking into the factory where you're gonna die of black lung. I think there might be a little grace period on that. Did you know a man who was attacked and beaten outside of a bar turned into a math genius? Jason Pedier was once a jock who never made it past pre-algebra, but after the injury, he started seeing the world in pixelated geometric shapes, understood the concept of pi, and had a sudden ability to hand draw complex fractals. I don't even know what a fractal is, but apparently after they fractaled his fucking skull.
I was about to say, maybe one of us should get the shit kicked out of us, bring this thing to a whole new level. Make it a math podcast. You guys can ask me anything. Like Rain Man.
Nah.
I don't even know enough about math to ask any complex questions.
Yeah, that's the wrong one, bud. I'm not good with numbers.
Jason Pathel?
I don't know. It's some weird name. Padgett. Padgett?
Did it give you where and when? Did it give you a little background or nah?
No, that's everything I read you is exactly what they gave me off of my fun fact calendar, Wes. No, but thanks to all 1,600 plus episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience where he talks about DMT, there is like the gland like right in the front of your head that produces DMT, but it's just nobody except for like yogi masters know how to like get it to to give you that sweet dream goo. And so maybe they just beat the piss out of him to a point where that thing inside of his brain was just like, you can have it all. And then he's got this new perspective on the universe.
Yeah. Huh. That's interesting.
I wonder if he lost anything. He gained some, but he lost something.
Yeah,
lost some of his personality. Lost some of his ability to communicate, love.
If they got him in the forehead region, he probably
wear hats.
Probably had some rage issues.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, to be a genius at anything, I feel like I'd give a little something up.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this. Like, even professional athletes, we were talking about them earlier, like, they get these millions of dollars, but, I mean, you literally give up your 20s and early 30s. Like, your most prime years of your life are just spent in a gym and a playing field, and there's a high reward for that in the paychecks that you receive, but you give up family, you give up friends, you give up a lot of shit to have a lot of shit. So yeah, okay, you want to club me in the forehead and I know the fucking meaning of the world? Okay, bring on the clubs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's subtle, somewhat, but I did not know about this guy becoming like the dude from it was Beautiful Mind. I wasn't aware of that, but good for him. I suspect. I wonder. I had to do some research. I had to figure out if he lived a normal life after that.
Well, I think the thing that fascinates me most about that is this is somebody who didn't have any predetermined knowledge of any of this stuff. Like he was like, like me, he pretty much stopped at pre-algebra in like the mathematical world. And then all of a sudden, you catch a few fisticuffs to the fucking brain pan, and now you know all of it. Now you know more than most people who've studied that their entire lives. And you didn't sit in a classroom. It's just all of a sudden a brick gave you the ability to understand pi to the nth degree. The fuck's that about?
Yeah, I'm reading the definition of a fractal, and like I consider myself a pretty intelligent guy. And I still kind of don't understand what this means.
Yeah. I have no idea what a fractal is, and this motherfucker decided he was going to hand draw complex fractals.
I think I need like somebody to put a number on it just so that I can like understand it a little bit better. But it says a curve or a geometric figure, each part of which has the same statistical character as the whole. Fractals are useful in modeling structures such as eroded coastlines or snowflakes in which similar patterns recur at progressively smaller scales, and in describing partly random or chaotic phenomena such as crystal growth, fluid turbulence, and galaxy formation.
Don't know that.
Yeah.
By the way, I just looked up. I googled guy beaten up and knows math. And it says here.
People gave it to you too, didn't it? Well, it was like story no more than 5.
In 2002, 2 men savagely attacked Jason Paget outside of a karaoke bar, leaving him. You were saying Paget.
Well, it's Padgett.
Yeah,
Paget. We should beat you up to enunciate things right.
Fucking Montreal.
I'm going to see if there's a conspiracy behind this.
I was going to say, did you find any other information, or did you just want to shit on me?
No, that's all.
Good.
Did you mention it was a karaoke bar?
No, that was not in my calendar fact.
All right, sorry. I think that's worth mentioning.
They were like, that son of a bitch karaoke'd Fernando 3 times. 3 fucking times.
Take it out back.
I love Fernando, but I can only take it so much.
Did you know you're 14% more likely to die on your birthday than any other day of the year?
Ooh. My guess would be just over intoxication, drinking too much, partying too much, celebrating. If you're going to celebrate, you're taking a risks that you normally wouldn't take. Jumping in oceans.
Yeah, or maybe it's a broken heart.
Jumping into
maybe
bodies.
It's a broken heart from your friends not wishing you a happy birthday.
Yeah, jumping into lakes, jumping into non-pool bodies of water.
Yeah,
it's fucking like an asshole.
Merge, was your birthday recently? Aren't you a June guy? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was on Tuesday.
Was it? It was Tuesday. Happy birthday!
Oh, I knew it, but I didn't know it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and finally, did you know my birthday was on Tuesday?
No. So wait, okay.
And for real, finally.
All right.
What?
No,
go. What?
The whole birthday thing. That's all. That's all I was going to say. You're 14% more likely to die on your birthday than any other day.
Well, you made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here I am. All right.
Think about that. So you're, what is it? 86% more likely to live another year.
Beating the odds, baby. And finally, wrapping up your Fun Fact Friday, this is actually a news story that is up on the official The Middle Classholes Facebook page, and it is titled, Bullshitting is Actually a Sign of Intelligence. They did a study. They say that people who have the ability and skill to bullshit their way through a conversation may actually be more intelligent. They did this whole research study It was done by Evolutionary Psychology. It's a research journal. And what they did is they put all these people in a room and they had them say never heard of it or they know it well and understand the concept. Now, they gave them a few concepts that are real and then they gave them several that are fake. They said the 6 concepts were sexual selection theory and general relativity. Now, those are the only 2 real ones. Then they threw in stuff like subjective scaling, declarative fraction, genetic autonomy, and neural acceptance. Now, those are all made up. So if you said that you knew those subjects well, then you are asked to stand in front of a bunch of folks and explain those quote-unquote scientific theories, and then they rated whether you knew the subject or not. And they found that the people that were able to bullshit the most were the ones that they did more research on and found that they actually had really high IQs no matter what they did in school or how they were performing in life. So their intelligence was based on their ability to bullshit and trick strangers into thinking a fake scientific perspective was a real thing.
All right, so let's start with numero uno of the fake ones. Subjective scaling. Yeah.
Okay, subjective scaling.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So what that is you the fish you catch, you subjectively decide which ones that you want to scale and you don't want to scale. The ones you don't, you throw back. All right, next one. Pop it up.
No. Subjective scaling is when you're not sure the size of a structure, but you're able to take the relative size of known structures and its proximity to judge exactly how tall it is in a 3-dimensional space.
That's what I would have said.
Jesus Christ, Wes.
Okay.
Fucking A. Declarative fraction.
This one's the hardest one.
Yeah, so you look at a fraction and you declare whether one is bullshit and one is real. Yep. Real, not real. Declarations. And there is a declaration of an independent fraction and a non-independent fraction, just so you know.
I think you're just adding things to make it sound more convoluted.
I know. I actually feel like you're just taking the words of the actual non-specific scientific theory and just injecting them. Oh, you take a fraction, then you declare it.
You just declare it.
Show you the art of bullshitting here. All right, what's next? What do we got?
Genetic autonomy. Oh, God.
Yeah, see, this one might be a little rough. Genetic autonomy.
Well, obviously, Bigfoot is an example of genetic autonomy, for he's been living separated from all other animal species for so long that his family group, they have their genetics that are autonomous to only themselves. So in their world, there is no mental retardation or what is it when family members have sex? Even through incest, there is no genetic anomalies. So, and that's what you get with genetic autonomy.
It
sounds the hardest.
Sounds a little bit fishy to me, but sounds a little bit scaly to me. But go ahead.
That's like an exact perfect definition of what the only thing you could assume genetic autonomy means.
Yeah.
The definitions of those words.
And finally, neural acceptance. I feel like this was super easy to bullshit.
Neural. Yeah. I think this has to do with aristocrats accepting you into their society. And whether or not, for instance, when Leo sat at the table of a bunch of well-to-dos in Titanic and sat there and shot the shit and was like, I know how to butter my bread. I know where the plates are. I know where the silverware. I know what silverware to eat from. Neural acceptance. It's whether or not I can walk into a country club and rub shoulders with a bunch of aristocrats and say, "Hey, scallywags, get me a goddamn highball."
Just say words.
You're so far off. This is a medical term. This is when you've lost a limb and you've actually got to get a new bionic limb attached. And as they're putting the receptors into the nerve endings, it's whether your brain will accept the new appendage. Neural acceptance.
I like that. That's good. I was gonna say it was a ancient alien mating ritual.
Ooh.
You place wreaths upon your cones, and then you touch them together. At which point you normally accept each other's neural stuff.
You were so good.
I know. I had nothing to finish it off with. Oh, god damn it!
That's where you go into orgasm talk. That's all you had to do. You were right there.
That's true. Fuck. So close.
And then your parents walk in and they wonder where you found them. And then you say under the bed.
Oh god.
Oh, and that, my friends, is your fun fact Friday.
Scallywags, make me another highball. All right. While we're at it, and you guys push this one. So we're going to close out this Independence Day show with, I think this is depressing news, but neither here nor there. Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction overturned by Pennsylvania court. The Cosby Show actor has served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10 years sentence in state prison. Turns out later on that I read, he had vowed to serve all 10 years rather than acknowledge any remorse over a 2004 encounter with an accuser. I'm going to not name names here. Cosby, 83, once beloved America's dad, was convicted of drugging and molesting the Temple University employee at his suburban estate. The former Cosby Show star was charged in late 2015 when a prosecutor armed with newly unsealed evidence Cosby's damaging deposition from her lawsuit ordered his arrest just days before the 12-year statute of limitations expired. So apparently some of this stuff became admissible in court. He served 3 years. Bill Cosby from The Cosby Show and the Puddin' Pops and the Jell-O is out. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't know why you don't understand why this shouldn't be included in a 4th of July episode.
Yeah.
This is about freedom, Wes. Okay?
Independence. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Freedom, independence, and what's America's biggest benefactor? Loopholes. That's what freed this man. A guilty man now roams the streets free because of a loophole.
This here is. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Murr, here in this. Do you know about loopholeage independence?
Well, yes, actually. If you use Bill Cosby as your test subject here, I reached out to our legal expert yesterday after this happened,
okay,
and I thought I had the gist, and I was close because I'll just read his text. It said, sorta. The prosecutor made a deal years ago that Cosby would testify in a civil suit against him from one of the victims and not plead the fifth, i.e., he incriminated himself in the exchange. But he was supposed to have immunity from prosecution for doing so. And since those transcripts were used in the trial, those judges came back and were like, look, home slice, you guys made a fucking deal, and you broke the deal in a court of law, therefore, charges are dropped. He's a free man, and he can't be tried again for double jeopardy.
Yeah.
So he's free as fuck.
They fucked up.
This is the type of shit that celebrities get out of. Middle class folk like ourselves, we're getting our hindquarters inspected daily, and not by the rats.
I don't think I need. Yep. I didn't need that finger roll you did there.
We're going to Gen Pop.
It's right.
All I'm saying.
We're Beecher in this situation.
Yeah, and we don't have clout. We don't have Cosby clout.
No.
You know what I mean? If Cosby walks up into Gen Pop, I don't think people really fucking with him.
Here's the thing, and I hate to give one of the most prolific rapists in American history any credit for anything, but he did maintain his innocence through this whole thing, right?
I mean, so is OJ.
Well, I'm gonna get to OJ. Don't you worry.
Let's do it.
He was up for parole. He was up for parole once a year, but the only way you could be paroled is you had to admit to your guilt and then say why you were going to be, a contributing member of society once you left. So he refused parole hearings because he refused to admit guilt. And now he's out scot-free. He's never openly admitted to anything, and now he's walked away. Even though, of course, there's this whole transcript of him like, "Well, I used to take the Quaaludes and dump them in the soda water, so he enjoyed it." So he's got all that going on, but he's never specifically said to the American public, "I'm sorry," and he's never going to apologize for it. And I'd also like to add, and this is something that Alan and I were talking about, in this time of turmoil in the American fabric of society, this might just prove that race doesn't have a lot to do with what's going on. It's the almighty greenback, the buckskin, if you will, the Valerie dues.
Green is the color that reigns supreme.
Yeah, I would say yes, but it's just above that tax bracket. Below the tax bracket, race does count.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Good
So,
point.
yeah, money. I mean, we are a capitalist nation. We ain't Christian. We ain't none of that other shit. We don't even have an official language, technically. So, yeah, it's all about them. It's all about them dough cheeses. That's all it is.
Because I think about it, the two most... Okay, OJ, double homicide. Free.
Yeah.
Free.
Dream team of lawyers. They had a black guy. They had a couple Jews. They had a woman. Like all on top of it, when you start mixing and matching and setting up teams like that, you're getting out of there. Like, fuck.
Yeah, and the prosecutor
had the fucking the Trump lawyer from impeachment part 2 fucking. When he was like swimming in the giant suit and he was just gabbing about fucking random articles in the fucking Constitution. That guy got him off. That shit's wild, man.
And you figure the prosecuting team from the OJ case was a black guy and a white woman.
It was.
They were just plopping around. Put on the glove. Put it on. Put on both of them.
Oh God.
They were out there getting massacred by the dream. It was the dream team playing fucking Estonia in the fucking group stage. You know what I mean? Just Jack jamming on Vladimir Slamasilov, just no shot. Fucking like that's all it was for fucking like 3 months. And Judge Ito was like, "Y'all fucking up. This guy's definitely guilty."
It was Marsha Clark and who else? I don't remember
I forget the dude's name. Nobody remembers anybody else but Marsha Clark.
Yeah, they only remember her and her haircut.
The younger DA. The kind of had a Carlton look going on.
The Chris Darden.
Was that?
There
Yes,
you
yeah.
Chris
That's
Darden.
right.
Yeah.
God. Well, I don't know. Where does he go from here? Does he team up with Rudy and Theo and they do like a a remake or something? Or
Okay, nobody in their right mind in cancel culture land is going to put Bill Cosby in front of any cameras.
They just put the Cosby house back together, but it was a halfway house now. Like he was ankle monitored and shit. Like
got a low jack on, right?
Yeah.
Dude,
I'd watch
if Bill Cosby, being the fucking psychopath narcissist that he is, decides now to make his own, like, I don't know, self-made series where he's like a guy in jail that's like passing off wisdom to the other prisoners, I would watch that.
God, Jesus.
And like he just pulls fucking pudding pops out of nowhere, out of
assholes,
under mattresses from cots. Fucking like he's standing by the fucking phone bank and just pulls one out from under the payphone, like it just starts handing them to people. That's be his gimmick. I would watch that. That's good TV.
I do wonder right now if there's like some fucking like CEO at the Jello Corporation that is fucking losing his mind right now. Gotta get on top of this.
We need him back.
This is slingshot us. Fucking people are flying people into space. We need to get on top of things. We need to float some Jello in there. Oh, well, there you have it. Welcome back, folks. Second half of the 2021 year. Alan, we got a new email address, but where can you find us?
I don't even know what our email address is yet.
That's
But
right.
Son of a bitch.
I know. I forgot to look that up before we started. But anyway, you can definitely find us on all your favorite social medias. We're the Middle Classholes on Facebook, and we're at MDL Classholes. Or wait, yeah, MDL Classholes on Instagram and Twitter. Whew, 1 week off, we start getting a little rusty. You can also find us on all your favorite streaming platforms: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, of course. What's our email, guys?
And our brand new email address should be very easy to remember. It is tickleourtummies@gmail.com.
Right.
Tickle, OURTUMMIES at gmail.com.
For some of our devout listeners, we've opted to keep the MLDCLSSHOLES at Gmail just so we can occupy a couple gigs worth of drive space. But if
we definitely don't want to confuse our listeners at all. So that's the reason that we have two emails, one complicated and one simple.
Well, and the funny thing is that Wes read the complicated email and he still got it wrong because there's no vowels in it.
yeah,
HOLE and there's no O or E.
Z's. There's Z's in it, maybe?
there's
no Z's.
bullshit. There's HOLES. Holes is spelled.
It's MD. It's MLDCLS H. I think it is HOLE. Yes.
HOLES.
Okay.
MDLCLSS
Is it?
HOLES. You fuck you. I know what I'm talking about.
CLSS.
Because it's like, that A means you're saying ass. We know, you idiots. It's, God, fuck you. Tickle our tummies, though. That's good.
Yeah. It's spelled exactly how it's spelled. tickleourtummies@gmail.com.
That's
You
right.
spell it wrong, then you don't know how to pluralize your Y's. Go back to grade school.
Check us out at YouTube. We're getting close to the 100 subscriber mark, in which case we can customize our name, and we're hoping for that. So check us out there and all the other stuff that we do.
We get to 100 subscribers, we'll send you $1.
Yeah.
100 subscriber, you get $1.
Hell yeah. Take care of that business.
Yes, sir. Cash app. Right at you. $1.
$1 in Dogecoin.
Don't spend it all in one place.
All right. Well, happy 4th of July, everyone. Enjoy your holiday weekend extended. Maybe you have Monday off. Maybe you don't. But otherwise, take care. Thank you for listening.